saying you think Republicans are gonna stop it.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. You think for a second you want... I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
No, don't give me. You don't. Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house? So this is serious, guys. This is serious.
So it'll be Newsom Trump in 28.
No. This guy doesn't believe in free, fair elections.
Drama queen much? Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive. Please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That will give you notification of my rants, my ravings, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, please like and share this video. It's the only way that we get the word out that we're here. Seriously, we are so throttled back by YouTube. I don't even know if YouTube even realizes we're even still here or not. Don't know, but I need your help. The only way we get the word out that we're here, the only way we grow this channel is because of you. Thank you so much for posting these links onto your social media platforms. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive. Well, it's official. Jasmine, the crotchmouth crotchet, is going to be out of a job as a U.S. member representative from the state of Texas now that Governor Abbott has signed into law the new congressional redistricting, otherwise known as gerrymandering, which allows Texas to pick up 5 GOP seats. Now, of course, you know that Gavin Newsom is outraged over this, and this, of course, is another act of tyranny and Donald Trump being defiant, and he won't leave.
People actually think this guy's serious about having another election? You think he's joking about 2028? Wake up. You will lose your country.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. And may God have mercy on your soul.
Gavin, the extra from Hollywood that looks like a Ken doll, even right down to the fake hair. You know, it's amazing. Gavin Newsom is what I refer to as the Democratic version of Mitt Romney. Like J.B. Babyback Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, is the Democratic version of Chris Krispy Kreme Christie out of New Jersey. You know, Gavin Newsom is fake and phony as a Mr. Potato Head. May look like a potato, plastic, hollow. That's Gavin Newsom. Right now, he doesn't give a rat's backside about actually being the governor of California and fixing any of the problems that became 100 times worse under him. When he went into office, he was going to end homelessness. Homelessness has actually exploded under his administration, and it hasn't gone anywhere unless they have a Chinese delegation coming into town, and then magically, poof, they clean the house because company has come, and there's no more homeless people on the streets. The Chinese and their checkbook leave, and poof, the homeless people just magically reappear. This is Gavin Newsom, that rules are for thee, but not for him. When he gave California some of the most stringent lockdown in the country, you know, you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't open your businesses. You couldn't engage in regular daily life. He could go out with his friends and party like it was 2019, but you weren't allowed to. This is Gavin Newsom. You really want to turn this guy loose on the entire nation by putting him in the Oval Office? Now, this whole disingenuous argument about gerrymandering, which was created, boys and girls, by your friends and not mine, the Democrats in 1812 up in New England. They wanted to make sure that they had some districts that they could always count on to be blue, to be Democrat. And the whole concept of gerrymandering, where you create your congressional districts in such a way that the Democrats always have just enough of a majority that a Republican couldn't get elected there, even if he was Jesus himself. I know that's pretty tough talk on a Saturday, but it's the truth. Gotta have coffee. Now, Gavin Newsom, so outraged that Texas has simply done what every Democrat state in the country has done, has responded by obviously trying to now redistrict California. Now, under then Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, they created what was supposed to be this independent committee that was responsible for doing the congressional district maps. And Governor Newsom basically sees what Donald Trump is doing as this act of war, and therefore, under some kind of Wartime Emergency Powers Act as the governor, he's trying to say, no, we can't do this through the committee. We're going to redraw this ourselves, and we will ensure that the 5 Republican seats that they think they're going to gain because of Texas, we're going to create 5 new Democratic congressional districts here in California, and so the two will cancel each other out. Here's the problem. The math is on our side. Like the Rolling Stones once sung that time is on our side. Well, the math in this case is on the GOP side. See, here's the deal. Every blue state is gerrymandered to the max. Kyle Kulinski, that little twerp that likes to think of himself as this insightful leftist commentator who has never been right, not once ever. That in and of itself has got to be a Guinness record. He married Crystal Balls and over there at Breakpoint and Crystal, when are you going to admit your mistake? I mean, come on, you're dating a guy that is regressing, with the funky hair. He looks like he's 14 and into skateboarding and just playing video games all day. Wait, he is. Isn't it awkward for you still at the supermarket that when the two of you go out to get groceries, people talk to you about how well behaved your son is? You have to explain, no, this is my husband. By the way, Crystal, Kyle just called. He's done with his play date with Jimmy, and he needs a ride home. All right, so Kyle Kulinski weighs in on this and basically says something, again, completely asinine because, Kyle has never been to, what's the word I'm grasping for here? Oh, yeah, school. And said that every blue state needs to make sure that no GOP ever gets elected to anything again. Okay, well, first of all, that, isn't even possible unless you really, quote, rig the system. But California, Gavin Newsom all upset that Donald Trump, through a red state, has done what every Democrat blue state has done, gerrymandered, picked up 5 seats. California, which basically will now ensure that there is no GOP representation, even though the state, during the last presidential election, you do know that Donald Trump got 40% of the vote. Yes, he got beat handily by Kamala. Kamala thinks she's a hottie Harris in California. But he got 40% of the vote. Yet, less than 10% of the GOP actually has a voice in the state government or in Congress. Think about that, which is why some California Republicans are proposing, dividing the state in half, literally having a Democratic side and a Republican side. The Democrats can have the coast, they can have San Francisco, they can have Los Angeles, they can have Oakland, and the Republicans will keep everything else, where there's still actually jobs and agriculture, and they will survive. And that the libloons will eventually want to live over on the Republican side because the Republicans will have things like food, utilities, and money. So Gavin Newsom, what he's really upset about is the way that Donald Trump, through deportation and the closing of the border, has basically ensured that California, if they properly do the census this time around, doesn't get to count all the illegals as citizens, so they're going to actually lose congressional seats anyway. But there's another caveat here. You have Missouri now saying they're going to do what Texas did. Louisiana saying it. Ohio's looking into it. Iowa's looking into it. Governor Ron DeSantis just said he's going to do it. That means that with what Texas did, the Republicans can still pick up 14 more seats. And if some other states, like, I'm thinking of Georgia, if Governor Hemp, the Chino, a rhino is a Republican dressed in Democrat, is a Democrat dressed in Republican drag. Well, Kemp sold out to China long time ago. He's just a Chinese puppet pretending to be a Republican. That said, if Georgia and a few other red states, Kansas is looking into it, even though they've got a Democratic governor, they have a veto-proof hold on the state legislative body. Kansas is looking into doing this now. So this is the end for the Democrats. They can saber rattle and try to say that they're going to do this. I can tell you Governor DeWittmer in Michigan, though she's no Trump supporter, she needs Donald Trump and his support right now to keep the auto industry alive. So Michigan isn't going to do this. Kathy Hochul in New York will try to do this. Even Governor Pritzker, the love child of Chris Christie, will threaten to do this, but he can't because technically they're so gerrymandered now. Even the Supreme Court's looking at their map like, we got a problem here. So it will most definitely be fought in the courts, not to mention that some of the Democrats in Illinois are saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, because if you gerrymander Illinois anymore, they would actually end up losing seats. So Newsom's on his own with this one. So he picked up 5, maybe. Remember, it still has to be voted on by the people. But he picked up 5. It cancels out the Texas 5. But if these other Republican states get on it before 2026, we'll pick up 14, 15 seats. Wouldn't it be great to see what an entire generation free from Democratic libloon influence on Capitol Hill could actually do to revolutionize our country?